Break the cycle.
How emotional dependence stops your growth in all areas. Are you tired of living your life at half capacity? Do you feel the calling for a fulfilling life but feel stuck as if an invisible force is pulling you back, preventing you from moving forward no matter how hard you try? Maybe you feel that your potential is being suffocated, that your relationships are a minefield, or that true financial and personal freedom is always one step beyond your reach. Many of us live with this feeling, chained by something we can't always identify. But what if I told you that this prison isn't external, but rather built by something that resides deep within you? Something that, ironically, you seek to feel safe, but which actually keeps you hostage. Here at Limitless Mindflow, we present the hidden truths that shape our reality. In this video, we're going to unveil one of the biggest saboteurs of human growth: emotional dependency. We're not just talking about romantic relationships, we're talking about a complex web that affects your career, your finances, your health, your self-confidence, and yes, every single relationship you have. This video is not for the faint of heart. It's for those who are ready to confront the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. Stay with me until the end of this video, and you'll have the tools and clarity to identify the chains of emotional dependency and, more importantly, to break them, paving the way for unlimited growth in all areas of your life. And for those of you who are already subscribed, your like now at the beginning is our greatest encouragement. And for you who are just arriving, a very warm welcome. Watch, and if you like it, your like at the end will be a great sign that we are on the right track. What is emotional dependency, the invisible prison?
To break a cycle, we first need to understand its nature. What exactly is emotional dependency? It's not simply needing someone or valuing a relationship. That's called interdependence, and it's healthy. Emotional dependency, on the other hand, is when your identity, your self-worth, your happiness, and even your ability to make decisions are excessively tied to another person, a specific outcome, external validation, or a circumstance. It's when the absence or change of these external factors completely destabilizes your inner world. Do you feel incomplete without someone's approval? Does your happiness depend on your partner's mood? Do you avoid pursuing your dreams for fear of what others will think? Do you feel lost when you don't have a plan or an authority figure to guide you? These are manifestations of emotional dependency. It disguises itself as love, loyalty, or prudence, but in reality, it is a parasite that sucks your autonomy and prevents you from flourishing. It keeps you in an illusory comfort zone where security is bought at the price of your freedom and genuine growth. It's an invisible prison because the bars are made of your own beliefs and fears, and the key is always in your hands, but you don't know how to use it. Our society teaches us to seek connections, to value relationships, but there is a thin line between a healthy bond and a desperate need. Emotional dependency is not love, it's a compulsion. It's when your happiness, your self-esteem, your very identity become hostages to the feelings and presence of another person. Does that sound familiar? If so, you are not alone. Millions live in this invisible prison without realizing the price they are paying. The silent impacts of emotional dependency in all areas. The emotional prison is not limited to love. It slyly infiltrates and manifests in every sphere of your life. In your career, it can stop you from seeking that promotion you deserve because you fear rejection or disapproval from a superior. You may find yourself stuck in a job you hate just to maintain the stability that someone else values or to avoid the uncertainty that takes you out of your comfort zone. Innovation and proactivity are suffocated by the fear of making mistakes and being judged. You become a follower, not a leader, because external validation is more important than your own vision. In your finances, emotional dependency can translate into impulsive spending to seek social validation, or the inability to make important financial decisions without someone else's permission or advice. You may be sacrificing your future financial security to maintain a relationship or an image that doesn't serve you. Financial freedom, which is the basis for so many other freedoms, becomes a distant dream as your choices are dictated by the fear of scarcity or the need to please. And what about your health, both physical and mental? Emotional dependency can lead to burnout, chronic anxiety, and depression. You may neglect your own needs, your hobbies, your rest, because you are constantly focused on meeting others' expectations. The incessant search for external validation can lead you to self-destructive behavior patterns, such as extreme diets or excessive exercise, all to fit into an imposed ideal and not for your genuine well-being. Your inner voice is silenced, and your body and mind pay the price. In relationships, emotional dependency creates a vicious cycle of codependency, resentment, and frustration. You may attract partners who take advantage of your need to please, or you may feel suffocated by those who demand your constant attention. Emotional dependency is a virus that corrodes your individuality. You start to shape your tastes, your opinions, even your personality to fit the expectations of the person you depend on. Your longtime friends are neglected, your hobbies are abandoned. Slowly, you become a shadow, an echo of the other person. And what happens when this emotional anchor moves or breaks? You are completely lost. Furthermore, dependency in one relationship can contaminate all others. Friendships become possessive. Family relationships become tense because of your constant prioritization of a single person. And your self-confidence? It is eroded day after day, as every decision, every emotion, every step is filtered through the lens of external approval. You become a reflection of others' expectations, losing your own essence in the process. It's as if you were building your house on the quicksand of someone else's feelings. One day, it's going to collapse. It's a cycle that needs to be broken. And the good news is that you have the power to do it. But how? The roots of emotional dependency, where it all begins.
Emotional dependency rarely comes out of nowhere. Its roots often extend back to childhood, where we learn the first patterns of relationships and validation. If we grew up in an environment where love and attention were conditional, that is, we only received affection if we behaved in a certain way or met certain expectations, we internalize the idea that our worth is tied to what we do or what others think of us. This creates a deep wound, the belief that we are not good enough for who we are, but rather for what we can offer or what we can be for others. Another common root is the fear of abandonment. If we experienced significant losses or neglect in childhood, we can develop an overwhelming fear of being alone, which leads us to cling to relationships or situations even if they are harmful. The idea that loneliness is unbearable pushes us into dependency, as the pain of being alone seems greater than the pain of being trapped. Society also plays a role. We are constantly bombarded with messages that tell us that happiness lies in possessions, status, perfect relationships, and external validation. Social media, for example, creates a stage where everyone's life seems perfect and ours, by comparison, seems insufficient. This feeds the need for approval and the incessant search for an unattainable ideal. The result is a distorted self-image where our worth is determined by external factors. We lose connection with our inner voice, with our own desires and needs. Emotional dependency is, in essence, a disconnection from oneself. It is the surrender of your personal power to something or someone outside of you. But the good news is that once we identify the roots, we can begin to pull them out. The first step is recognition. The second is the decision to break this cycle. And the third is action. And it is about this action that we will talk about now. If you are identifying with what we are discussing and you feel it's time to take back control of your life, consider subscribing to the Limitless Mindflow channel. Here, you will find more tools and insights for your journey of self-discovery and empowerment. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you don't miss any content that can transform your reality. The Path to Emotional Freedom: 5 Pillars of Autonomy. Breaking the cycle of emotional dependency is not a single event, but a journey.
A journey that requires courage, self-compassion, and, above all, consistent action. I present to you 5 fundamental pillars to build your emotional autonomy and pave the way for a life of freedom and unlimited growth. Pillar 1. Radical self-awareness. Look within without judgment. The first step is the most difficult but the most liberating. Radical self-awareness. This means observing your thoughts, your emotions, and your behavior patterns without judgment. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this? What do I seek when I act this way? Who or what am I trying to please? When you feel anxious, frustrated, or empty, stop and investigate the origin. Is it the absence of a message? The lack of a compliment? The fear of criticism? Acknowledge the emotion, identify the trigger, and, crucially, accept that this is your reality right now. Don't blame yourself, just observe. Self-awareness is the light that dispels the shadows of dependency. It allows you to see the chains before you try to break them. For example, if you constantly catch yourself checking your phone to see if someone has replied, radical self-awareness will make you ask, am I seeking validation? Does my happiness depend on this response? Just asking the question is already a step toward freedom. Pillar 2. Setting healthy boundaries. Protect your sacred space. Once you become aware of your needs and triggers, the next step is to protect your space. Healthy boundaries are the borders you establish to protect your energy, your time, and your emotional well-being. This means saying no when necessary, even if it causes initial discomfort. It means communicating your needs clearly and assertively, without aggression or passivity. It means understanding that you are not responsible for the happiness or emotional reactions of others. For example, if a friend constantly calls you to vent and it drains you, a healthy boundary would be to say, I care about you, but I can only talk about this for X minutes today or on another day. Or if your boss overloads you, learn to negotiate deadlines and responsibilities. Remember, those who truly love and respect you will understand and honor your boundaries. Those who don't are precisely the people you need to distance yourself from for your own good. Freedom is not the absence of commitments, but the ability to choose your commitments with integrity. Pillar 3. Building authentic self-esteem. Your worth is not negotiable. Emotional dependency flourishes in the soil of low self-esteem. To break the cycle, you need to cultivate authentic self-esteem that doesn't depend on external validation. This means recognizing your qualities, your accomplishments, your talents, no matter how small they may seem. It means forgiving your mistakes and learning from them instead of beating yourself up. It means treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion you would offer a dear friend. Start with small actions. Praise yourself for something you did well. Celebrate a small victory. Take care of your body and mind with affection. For example, instead of focusing on what you didn't do, celebrate what you managed to accomplish today. If you are learning something new and make a mistake, instead of criticizing yourself, say, that's part of the learning process, and I'm proud of myself for trying. Your self-esteem is the foundation upon which your autonomy is built. It is non-negotiable. Pillar 4. Disconnecting from external validation. Your inner compass is the guide. We live in a world obsessed with external validation. Likes, comments, social approval, diplomas, material possessions, all of these can become a drug that gets us addicted to seeking happiness outside ourselves. The 4th pillar is the conscious disconnection from this search. This doesn't mean you shouldn't care about others' opinions, but rather that others' opinions shouldn't define your worth or your decisions. Start by making small decisions based only on what you want and what is good for you, without consulting anyone. Wear the clothes that make you feel good, not the ones that are in fashion. Choose a hobby that gives you pleasure, not the one your friends do. For example, if you always choose restaurants based on other people's opinions, try to choose one you really want to try just for yourself. With every small autonomous decision, you strengthen your inner compass and weaken the power of external validation. Your freedom lies in your ability to be your own guide. Pillar 5. Cultivating personal interests and passions. Rediscover who you are. Emotional dependency often leads us to neglect our own interests and passions, as our time and energy are consumed by the search for approval or the maintenance of dependent relationships. The fifth pillar is the rediscovery and cultivation of these interests. What makes you vibrate? What makes you lose track of time? What would you do even if no one was watching or applauding? Go back to painting, playing an instrument, reading, walking in nature, or learning a new language. Invest time and energy in activities that nourish you and connect you with your essence. This not only fills the void that emotional dependency creates, but also reminds you of who you are, beyond your relationships or what others expect of you. For example, if you used to love photography but stopped because your partner wasn't interested, pick up your camera again. If you've always wanted to learn to cook, sign up for a class. These passions are sources of joy, purpose, and, crucially, autonomy. They remind you that you are whole on your own, and that your happiness does not depend on external factors. This is the path to freedom. But what happens after you break the cycle? What comes next? Deeper dive. Beyond dependency, interdependence, and purpose.
Breaking the cycle of emotional dependency doesn't mean isolating yourself or becoming a hermit. On the contrary, it means making space for healthy interdependence. Interdependence is the ability to relate to others from a place of wholeness, where you are able to give and receive support without losing your individuality. It's recognizing that we are social beings and that human connection is vital, but that this connection should be a conscious choice, not a desperate need. In interdependent relationships, there is mutual respect, open communication, and the freedom for each individual to grow and develop, knowing that the other is a partner in the journey, not a crutch. Think of a basketball team. Each player is autonomous with their own skills and responsibilities, but they come together, trust each other, and collaborate for a common goal. If a player were emotionally dependent on another, the team would fall apart. Interdependence is the strength of the union of strong individuals. And how does this connect to purpose? When you free yourself from emotional dependency, you release an immense amount of energy that was previously trapped in the search for external validation. This energy can be channeled into the discovery and pursuit of your life's purpose. Purpose is not something you find, but something you build. It's the intersection between your talents, your passions, and the needs of the world. When you live aligned with your purpose, external validation becomes irrelevant, as satisfaction comes from within. You become intrinsically motivated, and your contribution to the world becomes a reflection of your authenticity. Emotional dependency keeps you small, focused on yourself and your deficiencies. Purpose expands you, connects you to something greater, and motivates you to contribute. Interdependence and purpose are the pillars of a truly full and limitless life. They are the antithesis of dependency and the path to a deeply meaningful existence. If you are looking for more clarity about your purpose or want to deepen your understanding of interdependence, leave a comment below. Your participation helps us create even more relevant content for the Limitless Mindflow community. Now, let's dive a little deeper into the science behind emotional autonomy. Our brain is an incredible learning machine, and it learned emotional dependency through repetition and reinforcement. Every time you seek external validation and get it, your brain releases dopamine, creating a reward circuit. It's like an addiction. The good news is that just as we learn dependency, we can unlearn it and reprogram our brain for autonomy. This is called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt throughout life. When you practice self-awareness, set boundaries, cultivate authentic self-esteem, and pursue personal interests, you are literally building new neural pathways. You are weakening the neural connections associated with dependency and strengthening those associated with autonomy. Repetition is key. Every time you choose yourself instead of external validation, you reinforce these new pathways. Meditation, for example, is not just a spiritual practice. It is proven to alter brain structure, increasing gray matter in areas associated with self-awareness and emotional regulation. The practice of gratitude, in turn, activates reward circuits independent of external factors, teaching your brain to find satisfaction internally.
Visualization and positive affirmations, which we covered in previous videos here at Limitless Mindflow, are powerful tools in this reprogramming process. By visualizing yourself as autonomous, confident, and free, you are teaching your brain to behave in that way. Affirmations, repeated consistently, help to rewrite limiting beliefs in your subconscious. Remember, your brain doesn't perfectly distinguish between a real experience and a vividly imagined experience. Use this to your advantage. Science is on your side in this journey of liberation. It's not just a matter of willpower, but of understanding how your brain works and using it to build the life you want. If you want to delve deeper into mental reprogramming techniques, check out our videos on visualization and affirmations. They are the perfect complement to this journey of breaking the cycle of emotional dependency. We have come to the end of this deep exploration of emotional dependency. We've seen that it is an invisible prison built by beliefs and fears that prevents your growth in all areas of life: career, finances, health, relationships, and self-confidence. We identified its roots in childhood and the incessant search for external validation. But more importantly, we have charted the path to freedom. The 5 pillars of emotional autonomy: radical self-awareness, setting healthy boundaries, building authentic self-esteem, disconnecting from external validation, and cultivating personal interests and passions, are your map to breaking the chains. And we understood that going beyond dependency is not about isolating yourself, but about embracing healthy interdependence and aligning with your life's purpose. Neuroscience shows us that reprogramming is possible, that your brain is malleable, and that every conscious choice brings you closer to your freest and most powerful self. The journey to break the cycle of emotional dependency begins now. It's not easy, but it is the most rewarding journey you can undertake. Remember, you have the power to rewrite your story, to build a life where your happiness and your worth come from within. If this video helped you see something new, please like, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next transformative insights, and share in the comments which pillar you will start strengthening today. Leave your comment below, and thanks for watching. Your freedom awaits you. See you in the next video here at Limitless Mindflow.